How's them Bud Light numbers doing? Oh, about as well as you'd anticipate, right? Keep on seeing different sales data, and none of it's good, really. Well, actually, really is doing a lot of heavy work there. They aren't doing good. It's terrible. It's disgusting for them specifically. For us, it's all hilarious, of course. Bud Light on Kentucky shelves goes viral. Boycott is in full effect. Brand new picture that we have right there. Well, okay, if you do a close-up like that, it's going to look like your shelf is full, right? Right next to Rolling Rock, which is also under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella. Is that, I have no idea what that is, I don't know beer or anything like that. A video showing unsold packs. I just want to go ahead and pause that for a second because nobody cares. Showing unsold packs of Bud Light and Budweiser has gone viral on social media amid conservatives' ongoing boycott of Anheuser-Busch products. Conservatives, are we back here again, Newsweek? Come on, man. In recent months, a number of large U.S. brands being targeted with boycotts. Boycotts? By just not... Because you think that you're entitled to people's money. That's what you get with this whole boycott thing. Oh, you guys are boycotting it. No, I didn't have to buy your product. Your marketing is indicative of the target demographic that you're trying to go after, and you're trying to go after the tranny dollar. Well, as a vast majority of your drinkers are, as your former VP of marketing says, kind of a fratty culture. Not a lot of transformers among their mix. Just saying, so... Back to this. As a host of different companies unveil products supporting Pride Month, some companies unveiling their support June 1st and then having it off their platform by about June 5th. It's kind of a weird phenomenon. Anyways, which takes place every June. Companies supporting gay communities outside Pride Month have also faced backlash from conservatives by what? Not wanting to go and support something that fundamentally hates you? Because it's not so much, right? Because it would be totally different. Completely 100% different if this whole Pride celebration or whatever, if they didn't make it so political, if they didn't make it an attack. If you don't support us, that means you're a bigot. Okay, well, I'm still going to be a bigot. I'll just be over here not supporting you. If you didn't think that you were just so goddamn entitled to everybody accepting and affirming you in every single situation, maybe people wouldn't be so upset. If you also weren't trying to indoctrinate the youth, yeah, that'd be another thing. But you're doing all of those things, so hey, you get what you deserve, right? As a wise man on a fake talk show once said, you get what you fucking deserve. Bud Light was initially targeted in April from a small branded partnership. Even these guys are trying to diminish it at this point in time. I understand it's been going on for quite a long time at this point in time. But still, we can remember. Our memories do go back about 2 months, okay, for most people. It's a small partnership. It was just one post. It was just one can. Shut up. Mulvaney's partnership with Bud Light drew condemnation from several conservative figures, including Texas I didn't hear, Eye Patch McCain opine on this, but apparently he did. And of course, Newsweek would go ahead and say, it drew the ire of a bunch of conservative lawmakers. You won't point to MTG. You won't point to Jim Jordan. You won't point to anybody who actually makes a difference. No. You'll go point to the one rhino in Congress. Good for you. Well, at least in the House of Representatives. I'm sure that there are others as well. He's just the most prominent one. So then that brings us to the picture in question, at least the most recent one, right? Because you can find these just about everywhere at sporting events, at all of your local grocery stores, and apparently at your local bodega as well. Bowling Green, Kentucky has tons of tranny semen. I find it hilarious. Okay, on the shelf. I've been on a road trip most of the weekend and stopping in everywhere to get to gas and check stop. Bud Light isn't selling at all. Boycott is in total effect. Yeah, not playing games on this one because you can see a couple of Coors being sold as well. You can't really check the stock on anything else. Packs of, I wish I could tell what was next to Mike's Hard there, but obviously some shit's moving. Blue Moon, okay, yeah, Modelo, holy shit, yeah, and then Modelo's right there at the bottom, the 24 packs, but the 6, the 8s, and Stella Artois, back to that, okay, yeah, and then Michelob, a little bit of that moving, and then Bud Light, cases, a couple of the cases have moved, but, Budweiser heavy there as well, not doing all that great that's over there. So that's simply just another in a long list of instances where Bud Light, well stocked out there. If you're real thirsty and you only have some pocket change left, you can go and get yourself a 24-pack. Sure, that rebate is still in full effect. But you know where you can find a good, cold, crisp Bud Light? Down there at Garth Brooks's establishment. Oh, I am so happy. Okay. Personal anecdote for a second. He was up here in my neck of the woods, not Grand Prairie or anything like that, far too small of a place, but he was playing the stadium in Edmonton. It used to be called Commonwealth. I have no idea what it's called anymore, but he was down there. He did a 2-night stint, and my family went all down, and I don't really like country music like that. I'm not a big Garth Brooks guy to begin with, but now, oh boy, am I super happy that I did not go and watch this degenerate. Remember, I don't drink or anything like that. I'm not a beer drinker. I don't drink alcohol, never have, never will. So I've been boycotting all of these brands for 33 years. I just think that you're personally a hunk of shit for saying that those that are boycotting, not drinking Bud Light, you're assholes. That's interesting because, okay, for as long as this, for the lack of a better term, and just because we're in colloquial parlance for the second, we can just go ahead and say boycott. Haven't really seen, like, outside of just a couple of side jokes and saying, oh, that's tranny fluid, or I ain't drinking that shit, I want to turn gay. Outside of that, you know, for anybody that is drinking Bud Light, like, you've heard a couple of anecdotes that, okay, maybe the salesmen, maybe the truck drivers, you know, they're getting, you know, cross looks, a couple of snide comments, a few middle fingers from some Karens driving by as they're barely paying attention to their kids and texting their black landscaper to see where he can come over and trim the hedges. These quote-unquote conservatives that are out there, you know, the sports fans, the country music enthusiasts, they're just kind of silently dipping out when it comes to Bud Light. Compare and contrast that with the Target boycott, okay? They want to continue to say, oh, those violent conservatives that are out there that are just boycotting Target. Can you point to it? Oh, because the only time that I've seen anybody be really, truly outraged is the gay side of this. So that's interesting. So, again, those who cry the loudest are more than likely the ones who are lashing out to begin with. Country music legend Garth Brooks can't deny that. You know, he broke through the mainstream in, what was that, the early to mid 90s. Like, he's one of the few music acts that can legitimately pack a stadium. So, hey man, it is what it is. He can just be an asshole and make this statement. Has defended his decision to serve Bud Light in his new bar called Friends in Low Places. All right, that makes sense. Despite the ongoing controversy and boycott calls surrounding the beer brand associated with the controversial trans TikToker Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, outside of the gay bars, again, like John Rich, who we'll hear from very, very shortly, he just decided to pull it because he doesn't want to sell it. The only other time that this happened, oh, there was that fucking bar. Where was that? Was that in Fairfax, Virginia? I think, where they said, no, you guys can't discuss anything. We're just going to serve Bud Light. And then within a couple of days, why isn't anybody coming into our place? Big fucking think on that one. So this is really going to put the popularity of Garth Brooks to task. Interesting. Bold move. Unforced error, I foresee. Bud Light had partnered with Mulvaney. We already know all of this stuff. Christ almighty, it's been 2 months at this point in time. And yes, we're going to serve every beer brand. We just are. It's not our decision to make. It's your bar. It's ultimately your decision to make, my guy. Our thing is this. If you are let into this house, okay, love one another. If you're an asshole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway. Oh, interesting. Come in and love. And if you don't want Bud Light, you're an asshole. Interesting. I can understand what he was probably trying to go for, but strong words to be using. Strong words, especially if you're trying to make good with that gay side that just wants you to be woke. And then you think that you're being woke, but guess what? You're never going to be woke enough. Brooks said in a conversation with Billboard executive editor Melinda Newman at Billboard Country Live in Nashville. I know that sounds corny. I want it to be the Chick-fil-A of honky-tonks. Interesting. Must not have heard about that new diversity, inclusion, and equity officer. Or maybe he did, and then that prompted that simile. I suppose metaphor, there's no like her as in that situation. He told Newman, I want it to be a place you feel safe in, and I want it to be a place where you feel like there are manners and people like one another. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. So you want it to be, if you just go back and you take a look at old school Chick-fil-A, the Christian conservative outlet that wasn't all that happy about homosexual marriage, is that what you want? Oh, no, but then at the same time, you want the tranny beer that's there. Make that one make sense. Or maybe it's about the new boycotted version of Chick-fil-A, and that's what you want? And then that's your first line of promotion. Again, like Bud Light, weird choice of advertising for your brand new bar. Hopefully it does well. I don't really care. Brooks announced his plan to open up an entertainment space in a large property purchased in December of 2019, clarified his stance on Bud Light amid her fallout. In a statement, Brooks expressed gratitude for being part of the Lower Broadway area and described his goal of creating a welcoming honky-tonk that embraces love, kindness, and country music. Yes, and Yellowstone enthusiasts. Big Kevin Costner guy. Ugh. The backlash against Bud Light and the subsequent reports of plummeting sales prompted some executives to, just take a little vacation, a little early summer break, right? Controversy surrounding Bud Light's association with Mulvaney reflects the frustration ordinary Americans have with the extreme gay agenda in the United States and in Canada and in the UK and basically in the West. The West is overtaken with this pride hysteria. Meanwhile, 99.9% of people couldn't fucking care less. Republican governors and state houses across the country have embraced bills protecting children from child sex changes and grooming. Yeah, and sometimes you have some states with Democratic governors and Republican houses, and then you have those Democratic governors. Where was that specifically? Somebody got a bill on their desk. I think it was Kansas. Was it Kansas or Kentucky? It was one of those places where they have the female Democrat governor. I think it's Kentucky. There's a female Democrat governor, and she vetoed the bill where child mutilation would be off of the docket. As evidence of their boycott, several social media users have shared images and videos of unsold Bud Light products like we've seen before. But as I said, John Rich, who has taken the opposite approach to what Garth Brooks has done, he too owns a bar on Lower Broadway in Nashville. I would just like to see who's going to be maybe a little bit more popular with the community. Just wondering. Country music star John Rich weighed in on fellow musician Garth Brooks' decision to serve every brand of beer. That's a lot of taps, too. Christ almighty. At his upcoming Nashville, Tennessee spot as Bud Light continues to face backlash. Garth Brooks has always been a guy that said, "Everybody come to my show." Rich told Fox News Digital, "It's something that we love about Garth. You know, he makes his music for everybody. And he really is what music is about. You're making music for everybody, beers for everybody too. If Garth is serving Bud Light at his bar, that's fine. Garth can do that. Garth might find out that not many people are going to order it. And at the end of the day, if you have to put things in your establishment that people are going to purchase if you're going to run a successful business. So he might find that out." Very diplomatic approach, just saying that, hey, the reason that we got rid of it, nobody was buying it. And the reason too, Garth, that you might look back on your statements with a little bit of embarrassment is you're going to realize that not many people want Bud Light here. Everybody's kind of done with that. I'm just wondering if you're going to have every single type of beer on tap, you're going to have Schlitz because they're about to have a drinking buddy just like you, Garth. I hear Dylan Mulvaney's available. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.